Good morning, time travelers and trivia hunters. It's May 26th, and we've got a day packed tighter than a blueberry cheesecake with historical gems, airborne paper fun, jazz legends, royal affairs, deadly leopards, and philosophical exits. Curious? You should be. Buckle up because it's time to glide through the wonders and weirdness of this day in history.
Here's what we're officially or unofficially celebrating today. First up, it's National Paper Airplane Day in the US. The one day a year where throwing folded office supplies across a room is encouraged, not frowned upon. And because we're all about balance, it's also National Blueberry Cheesecake Day. So go ahead, craft a paper glider in one hand and a forkful of creamy dessert in the other. Just don't launch the cheesecake.
A star-studded birthday roll today. John Wayne was born in 1907, bringing dusty boots and cowboy grit to Hollywood's golden era. Lenny Kravitz, born in 1964, still rocks stages with more cool in one dreadlock than most of us in a lifetime. Queen Mary of Tech arrived in 1867, dignified, royal, and impeccably hat-wearing. Miles Davis was born in 1926, blowing the jazz world away one cool note at a time. In 1951, Sally Ride made her earthly debut. She later became the first American woman in space, proving you can literally shoot for the stars. And let's not forget King Frederik X of Denmark, born in 1968. Now freshly crowned and presumably mastering royal wave techniques since 2024.
Now for some respectful nods to legends lost on May 26th. Samuel Pepys, the English diarist, passed in 1703 from kidney failure. His diary still spills the tea on 17th century London. Martin Heidegger, philosopher and existential heavyweight, left us in 1976 due to heart failure. Jimmie Rodgers, the father of country music, sang his last note in 1933, taken by tuberculosis. Director Sidney Pollack passed in 2008 from stomach cancer. He gave us films, feelings, and reasons to cry at award shows. And George Brent, the suave Irish-American actor, left the stage in 1979 due to emphysema.
Here's today's history from the front lines and the peace table. In 1940, the Dunkirk evacuation began, saving over 338,000 Allied troops from German forces. Basically, the ultimate group rescue mission. In 1972, the US and USSR signed the Salt-Wine Treaty, agreeing to limit nuclear arms. A rare Cold War moment where fingers weren't hovering over big red buttons.
Blasting off into science. In 1969, Apollo 10 orbited the moon, testing the lunar module just shy of a landing. Think of it as a dress rehearsal for greatness. And in 1955, the Soviets broke ground on the Baikonur Cosmodrome, their launch pad to the cosmos, and occasional spy satellite.
Step up to the plate. In 1933, Chuck Klein of the Phillies hit for the cycle. A rare baseball feat that's part skill, part magic, part peanut butter hot dog. Yes, that's a thing now.
Get your nerd goggles on, folks. In 1896, the Dow Jones Industrial Average launched, tracking 12 whole stocks. We've since upgraded to slightly more. 1927 saw the final Ford Model T roll off the line after a whopping 15 million cars made. And in 1891, Almond Stroger patented the automatic telephone exchange, finally letting you reach Aunt Mabel without chatting up a switchboard operator first.
Back to Earth now, specifically the deep ocean and the wild jungle. The HMS Challenger returned in 1876, having cataloged 4,700 marine species and probably terrified a few squid. In 1926, the leopard of Rudraprayag, blamed for 125 deaths, was taken down by hunter Jim Corbett. That's not a typo. 125. And in 1998, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that Ellis Island belongs mostly to New Jersey. Sorry, New York, real estate is brutal.
Time to groove and gasp. In 1967, the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band hit the shelves and changed music forever. 1897 gave us Dracula, Bram Stoker's literary bite that keeps on living. And in 1958, the musical film Gigi premiered, sweeping the Oscars with 9 wins and a lot of lace.
Here's today's spin on the political globe. In 1948, apartheid was formally instituted in South Africa, a grim chapter of racial segregation.
But history also rights its wrongs. In 2018, Ireland repealed the Eighth Amendment, legalizing abortion via public vote. And in 1966, Guyana gained independence from the UK. Time to raise that new flag high.
And that, dear viewers, was May 26th. A day of first steps, farewells, royal waves, jazz riffs, and deadly leopards. But no matter how epic the history, if today is your birthday, then that's the most important event of them all for the people who love you. So go fold a plane, eat some cheesecake, and make your own kind of history today. And of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because more time-traveling trivia is just a click away.